Hello. Um, so I am basically just recording this because I need to talk into a microphone for a little bit. It is currently 3:16 a.m. and I am sort of tired, but also I want to do something, so I'm doing this. Um, so usually there's a Nintendo Direct, so I can't pronounce anything. Usually there's a Nintendo Direct in February, and that tends to be I don't know if they reveal a lot of stuff in the Februarys. I think it's usually like the June or July one that they have that reveals more. But uh yeah, it's 2024 now, and the Switch has been out for about, well, it's coming up close to 7 years. Um which is a portion of my life. Doesn't feel like it's been that long. I still remember getting my Switch, and it's kind of dying. The Switch is like, it's not getting what it needs anymore to keep it as a sustainable console. In my opinion, the games are good, but they're severely held back by the Switch's hardware, and I really think that Nintendo is going to reveal the next system either at this February Direct or in the summer, and then possibly an early 2025 release or late 2024 before Christmas, because they want all the Christmas money if they make enough. Um, but yeah, it has been a thing for a while now that 3D Mario has not received a mainline game in like 6.5 years now, which is the longest gap that we've had in games between in since 64 and Sunshine. And obviously, both of those games came out before I was born, so I didn't really experience that gap. But I played Mario Sunshine a lot. It was like the Mario game when I was little, other than Galaxy, which I also played. And I eventually played 64 when I was like 10 or whatever. My uncle gave me his N64, and I got Mario 64, and I played it, and I thought it was okay at first, and I kind of grew to love it. Now it's like one of my favorite Mario games. Uh, Mario Odyssey, on the other hand, I started off loving it, and I've slowly kind of lost my faith for it, and I feel like it didn't really fully cover what the Switch needed in terms of like mainline Mario. Um, Mario Wonder taking so long to come out is a good and a bad thing because the Switch gets a really good game later in its life. Um, and Tears of the Kingdom is a good game, but I honestly have a lot of trouble playing it because I preferred Breath of the Wild much over Tears of the Kingdom, and also playing it anymore kind of feels like a hassle because my Switch does not want to handle it, and the resolution is low, which I don't know if it's the same for Breath of the Wild too, but it doesn't look that great on the Switch or on the TV or anything. Frame rate super low. Um so the Switch is really holding that back. Um I refuse to buy Pokemon Scarlet and Violet literally just for the moral reason of how bad that company is at this point with their games. Legends Arceus was pretty good, but I don't know what they were thinking when they released Scarlet and Violet in the state it came out in, and I will not play those games ever, I don't think. Um but yeah, so this is just kind of like my wish list for the future of the Switch, which is essentially going to be revealed at this direct. Um, this is kind of a completely arbitrary, like stupid wish list because Nintendo never does what I want. In terms of like game releases that I think would be good to tease or reveal or whatever. But that's not really a thing. Like a couple of years ago, I don't know, even remember when it came out, but I had a big wish list that I made. Wrote it down in a notebook. I don't think I still have it. And then all the stuff that I wished for, not all of it, but most of it, ended up coming true within the next year. And all of the stuff that I wished for turned out to be absolutely horrible, and I wish I didn't wish for it at all, especially like Nintendo Switch Sports. I don't even know what they were thinking with that game. I can't stand to even look at it. Like the potential was there to make such an amazing game, probably one of the best sellers on the Switch, and they just ruined it. I don't know how they managed that. It's amazing to me. But yeah, so this wish list is in the hopes that I don't ruin everything again. Um so yeah, uh I think the first thing on this list, honestly, I've been saying it for years and I'll continue to say it, is Mario and Luigi game. Uh it's my favorite series. I'm sure I've talked about that enough. Um it is like the best thing in the whole world to me. I love the story, the characters, the personality of them. They're my favorite games. And in my tier list of Mario games, I believe I put Mario and Luigi Dream Team in S, and I didn't have it like above Mario 64 or anything like that. I've gone back and replayed the game most of the way through, still playing it, but and I would firmly say that Mario and Luigi Dream Team has actually become my favorite game, like single, like just my favorite game, not Mario game, just my favorite game. It is just, it's so good, and it everything about it is just perfect. And to have a sequel, even if it suffers from the limitations like the newer Paper Mario games do, and like Paper Jam did, anything with like the same level of personality and humor as those old games would honestly just be incredible. And also another thing that I've seen kind of requested online would be a Dream Team remake, Ramkey Home remake. That's how you spell it. Because you can never go wrong with a remake, especially if it's of Dream Team. I would fully support a remake of like Partners in Time. Paper Jam does not need to be remade. It just doesn't. The game works on the 3DS. It's fine. Uh, I wouldn't imagine that they do a remake of Superstar Saga or Bowser's Inside Story, because those games have already been remade. Um, as unnecessary as Bowser's Inside Story was for a remake, they still made it and released it in 2019 on the 3DS on the same day as some other game on the Switch. I completely forgot, honestly. All I know is the story of that game is so dumb. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't imagine they'd remake either of those. Um, so yeah, like all the important ones are in a condition that they should be, except Partners in Time, which is still limited to the 3DS. But that game is just good, I guess. I don't know. I enjoyed Bowser's Inside Story a lot less than most people did. But you know, whatever they do, it's not up to me. I think that Dream Team is the most fit for a Switch remake, just because the game looks great already on 3DS and on Switch. I think they could really work with that art style to make it work on the Switch. I've noticed that the 3D effect in Mario and Luigi Dream Team does actually impact the game, and I've been playing it like with the 3D on, and it makes the game almost kind of look better. It's a strange thing to say because I used to never play with the 3D on, and I've been kind of toying with it recently. I'm just now realizing that a lot of games really did use it to like their benefit, and it is really cool. So yeah, I think a remake of Dream Team would just be, I don't even know. It would be super good, super entertaining to play. Just it would be a great game to add to the Switch, because the only Mario and Luigi game is Superstar Saga, which you can play through the Game Boy Advance emulator, Switch Online, which is not. I mean, it's not bad. It's just like whatever. Um, and also I think that this is kind of likely, at least in some regard, because they've done uh the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake, which they're doing now. Mario and Luigi RPG remake, which I'll be honest, I've dropped that game because it's just it doesn't it kind of lost me. I don't know, it's fine. I'm sure I'll pick it up and continue to play it and probably beat it, but I don't find it that appealing. I feel like it doesn't have as much personality as some other games do. Also because of the lack of like voices, like the sound effects are really like uncanny because Bowser will yell and there's be no sound. I'm very used to like the funny sounding noises they would make in the Mario and Luigi games. It's not a big deal, but it does really hurt the game, I think. Uh yeah, the recent RPG remakes leads me to believe that they will make a Mario and Luigi game or remake in the near future. Uh they'll probably just take it in their own hands. It's not a big deal that Alpha Dream is bankrupt. It's not like that's stopping them. Alpha Dream is not the only one capable of developing a Mario and Luigi game. Uh Next up, I'm just gonna put it out there, I guess, is the Switch successor. Because this, I believe, would have to come with a new Mario game, and my guess is Metroid Prime 4. Uh, Mainly just because they've been talking about Metroid Prime 4. Well, not haven't been talking about it, but it's been a game that's been, like, in the works for so long that I believe that they might actually end up releasing it on the next system, like as if it's like a good big graphic showcase of the next system, you know, first person shooter. It'd be kind of, it's a good way to do it. um like the uh oh my goodness, brain, the Call of Duty game that came out on PS5. What's, oh yeah, the box is right there, Modern Warfare 3, that game. So yeah, I bought a PS5 not long ago, and I played Modern Warfare 3 because it came with it. Oh my god, that game, I'm sorry, it's so ugly. Like, the graphics are so unappealing, it's almost just irritating for me to sit down and play it. I understand that realism is a big thing that can invest people in games, and I am all for having amazing looking graphics, but holy crud, Modern Warfare 3 is so dull. There's no color, there's nothing. It's the most boring looking game I've ever seen. At least what I've played, and it's not like I've played that much, but I could critique the gameplay of that game too. It's just, Call of Duty is so flawed anymore. Like, I don't enjoy the games quite as much as I used to. Uh yeah, regardless of that, Metroid Prime would probably look better than Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and I believe that that would be that for the Switch successor, they would unveil the new Mario game because um you cannot tell me that they have not had something in the works all this time, because they say that they're constantly looking for innovations and stuff, and you can say that Bowser's Fury would count. I forgot that game existed, one of my tier list video, but Bowser's Fury, I really enjoyed that game, but it felt like they were testing the waters with a concept. It wasn't a fully fleshed out game. And you could say that, yeah, it does have 100 cat shines, but at the same time, 100 of them in a very small world, a lot of their mission structure is the same simplicity as like Mario Odyssey moons were, and getting 100 moons is so easy in that game. It's a big problem that it has. I could make a long video talking about Mario Odyssey, and I probably should. But regardless of that, yeah, new Mario game on the Switch successor, it's usually to show off like the power and stuff. There's usually never two games on a system, and Mario Galaxy 2 was basically just DLC for Mario Galaxy 1. Uh, so I wouldn't really count that as a new game. So I think that that would be in that situation when they revealed it. Um, other thing, like, so like for this direct, I know that Star Fox is kind of dead, but a Star Fox game would be really cool. I understand that Nintendo doesn't really want to make things that people are probably not going to buy into that much, but I'll be honest, I haven't played that much Star Fox, like any of the games really. Uh but it is an interesting series, and I feel like it's been gone long enough that putting another game, people would probably be excited enough, and it would probably sell well enough. Um, Let me quickly look up. Never mind. I don't know what Pokemon games are is it that's getting remade. It's Black and White or X and Y or one of those. I'm really scared that that's gonna be like the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl remakes, where it's just bad. I don't know how else to put it. They were bad. It's pretty simple. Um, but I think that when they reveal those, probably at this direct, because they've been teasing it on Twitter and such, um, that when they reveal that, that will probably end up being underdeveloped. I think it's safe to say that it will be underdeveloped. And that's a scary thing because I I love Pokemon. I didn't at first. I never used to like Pokemon, but now I'm a big fan of it. I can't necessarily stay hooked very much with a lot of the games, but I have played enough of different Pokemon games just to get like a grasp on them. And I can firmly say that I'm a fan of the series. I love the characters more than I love the actual games. The trading card game is broken anymore, but it's also very fun. Um, the games themselves have obviously had a very steep decline in quality, and whether that's due to time constraints or just failure on Game Freak is, I don't know. But these remakes can hopefully be very good to kind of relight that candle that Pokemon had, that really made it great, because it was a series that I really liked when I was in like middle school, um and like more towards the end of elementary school. So we'll see what they're able to do. We'll see what they push out. I think that they know that what is going to come next will really decide um what goes next for Pokemon, because if this is a failure, then that can probably spell a lot of problems. So for the direct, went on a tangent about Pokemon. Let's just put good Pokemon remakes. There's been too many Pokemon games, honestly. Um, okay. So, other than this, what would I like to see? Um, I think we have enough Zelda remakes on the Switch. I think that if they were to make a new console, it would either come with like an upgraded version of Tears of the Kingdom, which runs better, or it would have a remake of a previous Zelda game, like, but like fully remastered for this system. And I think what would be good for that would probably be like Twilight Princess remake. Because Twilight Princess was like, I mean, it's a great game. It's obvious, it's amazing. It was the first or second Zelda game I ever played, actually, because I never really was that interested in Zelda. But yeah, so I think that a Twilight Princess remake would be really good. I think it would really help the Switch. Not even if it was on the Switch, but if they announced it for the next console, that'd be cool too, because it would be like a great graphic showcase for what the next thing can do. Um, yeah. So I'm really trying to I'm grasping at straws here because there's not a lot of series that don't have sufficient games on the Switch at this point, and there's obviously stuff that I would be glad to see, but not stuff that I necessarily feel like deserves a new game. Like with this is like, oh yeah, I could say I want like a new Zelda game, but like we just got one last year, and I don't think that's something that we really need. I will say I'm excited for the Luigi's Mansion 2 remake because that I really liked that game. I'm worried that it's gonna suffer the same fate as like the Luigi's Mansion remake on the 3DS. Because it just, I'll be honest, it doesn't look that impressive. The game, it looks like it is a 3DS game on the Switch. It has problems. And I'm concerned of why they would be okay with releasing that, but honestly, it's not my big whole story to tell. So, um I have been rambling for 21 minutes and 21 seconds. And I don't think that anyone at this point is going to be watching. So, I am done. This is what I have to say about the Switch. Um I think this goes to show that the Switch has received a lot of great games, a lot of sufficient stuff. Um, I think we just need to move on. Please, let's move on from the Switch. Let's start getting something new. Um, yeah, if you're here, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you want to. It's not really up to me. It's up to you. I would suggest you do because I'm very cool and awesome. Anyway, goodbye.